Dear HDB owners, your HDB has reached its MOP. It is the best time to sell, or rather according to YouTube, Facebook and the TikTok ads which you have been seeing recently. So welcome back to the channel. My name is Sherwin, and in this video today we will be talking about this question: is selling at MOP always the best? Or as some claim, it is the best. Okay, so to prove this point, I have actually dug up a few examples, and the first being this HDB cluster which MOP in 2019 is in the Punggol Field area, and as you can see, averagely the prices range from 335,000 to 400,000, and once it reached MOP, right, the owners actually sold them for an average of 500,000, which net them a profit of around 165,000, which is not too bad. And the second example which I'll be giving you will be in Tampines Greenleaf, and this time I'll be using the 5-bedroom instead. So the purchase price for the 5-bedroom, right, it's from 371,000 to 444,000. And let's see, when they MOP, right, the owners sold averagely around 700,000, which give them a profit of 329,000. So with all that being said, does it answer the question that MOP is the best time to sell HDB? Personally, I think no lah, because this just shows that buying from government will guarantee you a profit, or rather 100% profit. You can dig out all, or rather I can dig out all the research to show that nobody have actually lost money from buying from the government before, because they are heavily subsidized. Okay, so why do I say that MOP is not the best time to sell your HDB? Because when it comes to timing, right, I believe there's two types of different timing. One is market timing, the other is individual or personal timing. So for market timing, the argument for MOP is the best time to sell is because during MOP, a lot of the neighbors will advertise as well. And with all this advertisement, right, it will bring in new demand. And as we all know, humans love new things. This is a new cluster, you have like a newer list, and the argument is with a higher demand, it actually drive price up, which is not wrong. But we do have to know that market timing does not consist of just MOP alone. There's many other factors. For example, government measures, interest rates, market downturn, and lastly, unforeseen natural disaster. Government measures, as we all know, they can do many things to manipulate the market. Okay, manipulate seems like a heavy word, but to regulate the market. For those that do not know, our government have been quietly, or rather not quietly, increasing the housing supply 100,000 over the past 5 years. So fun fact, Punggol, which is one of the largest towns in Singapore, only has for around 49,000 HDB. So 100,000 is twice the amount of Punggol. So of course, for natural disaster, the most recent one would be COVID lah. So an interesting example. Okay, just now we talked about the same two cluster. Now we look at how they perform 5 years down the road. Okay, so for Punggol itself, you see if the owners there chose, right, not to sell during 2019, and instead they choose to hold another 5 to 6 years, 2025, the 4-room for the same Punggol cluster, right, actually appreciated 150,000 more. So if you have held on to the property for another 5 years, right, that is a 100% increase in profit. Similarly, for the 5-bedroom in the Greenleaf area, if they choose to hold on for another 5 to 6 years, the 5-bedroom almost sold for $1 million. Highest is 978,000. On average, it's 930,000. So if they choose to hold on, they would have made an additional 230,000. So with this example over here, right, does it conflict with the statement, it is always the best time to sell your HDB during MOP? Okay? But as we all know, right, COVID is a black swan event. It happens, and all the BTO were being delayed. That's why a lot of people turn to resale, and resale prices start to spike up. Now my point here is, right, for market timing, right, MOP is just a part of it. There's so many other factors that could affect your HDB prices as well. So would it be so wise to time your HDB sales based on all these market factors? Because there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding all this, no matter how much assurance people can give you or as such. For me, the real question is, if MOP is not the best time to sell, then when is the best time to sell your HDB? Okay, which brings me to the second definition of timing. The first is market timing, and the second is personal timing, which is more specific and towards your family needs or goals. So when it comes to my clients, right, every time I talk to them with regards to your HDB or any property related decision, if we'll go back to the why. Why are you choosing to do this, and why at this time? If they don't really have a very strong or concrete answer which they can give me, right, it means that they are not ready to sell yet. They are just testing the market. Okay, personal events, or rather those with a stronger why, it will be because they want to upgrade to a better asset class. Okay, they need to cash out for their retirement. They need to move, in case of young couples, they need to move closer to a prestigious school to get a better balloting chance, or because of job relocation. Maybe they used to work in Changi Business Park and now they need to go to the second CBD in Jurong East and work there. Hence, they think that moving there would be more convenient. So all these are personal timing. Okay? And when I speak or when I do consultation with my clients based on personal timing, right, all these are within their control. Then from there, we can properly plan the next step moving forward. Then we can see the pros and cons of each option. Because today, if I sit down with my client, or rather with my client, I sit down with you and you tell me, tell me what will happen in the market next year. Is it better to sell next year or this year? Honestly, I can only give my analysis based on these few months. You want me to talk about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years ahead? It is very, very tough. I can just give you a few of my analysis based on the fundamentals, but it is very hard for me to put a price tag and say, or slam the table and say, okay, 100%, your HDB will profit another 100,000 over the next 5 years. If I can do that, I'll be a fortune teller. Okay, so what I usually do when it comes to upgraders, HDB or whatever property, right, it will be, why are you selling? Okay, if you are selling for a specific reason, for example, upgrading, will this move of upgrade bring you closer to your ultimate goal, be it retirement or whatsoever? Or will this move of upgrade earn you even more money if you were to stay put? Okay, example, if we go back to the Punggol and Tampines cluster, because the MOP both during 2019, if they would have chose to sell off their property in 2019 and upgrade to a better asset class, okay, for Punggol it will be the case of upgrading to Florence residences. And if you look at the performance here, right, Punggol, if they hold on another 5 years, 2025, they would have made another 150,000 in profit. But if they were to swap into a better asset class like Florence residences, which is a private residential, they would have made an average or minimally 300,000, which is twice the 150,000 they would have made. And if you look at Tampines, right, the closest they could have bought is Treasure at Tampines. If they held on their HDB, the 5-room, right, they would have made 230,000 more. But if they were to choose the upgrading path to buy a 4 or 5 bedroom in Treasure at Tampines, their profit, right, will be around the range of 300,000 to 500,000. So this is what I meant, right, when I say that there must be a why you are doing this. If you do not see the why and you are just upgrading solely because it MOP, right, then you will get very lost because you don't know what you're looking for next. And when you know what you're looking for next, right, then you will start to study, okay, what are the products that can make me better profit, right, than what I'm holding on now. So my thoughts with regards to the statement that selling during MOP is the best time, right? I feel it's not true. There's no best time to sell your HDB, your BTO HDB, but rather there's only the right time for you. And how do you determine the right time? It's really based on needs and which life stage you are at. Because a lot of people can be, or rather you can be asking me like, oh, Shane, can you tell me if I hold on to my HDB next year, can I make more money or can I make 100,000, 200,000 more? The truth is I can't, because there's so many uncertainty which I'm unable to predict. I can only use the fundamentals of economics, which we all know, which is demand and supply. How will the demand be coming up? How many supply is going to be in the market? But even so, there's still so much uncertainty. What if COVID happen again? If COVID happen again, your property price will shoot off the charts, for example. So there's no best timing for selling your BTO HDB. Okay, it will be planned mainly based on your personal needs. Okay, because truth to be told, your BTO would have already have a certain built-in profit already. It's what you want to do with the profit and why you want to do it now that is more important. Are you afraid that you will be outpriced if you choose not to upgrade this year? Because as we all know, the gap between HDB and private is getting larger and larger. Or you are thinking if you do not take this step now, okay, because you might not even need to upgrade to a private property. If you have only BTO once, you can choose to BTO again. So all these are valid reasons, but all these are reasons which are within, I feel, your control and something that is at your own terms. Don't choose to sell because the time reached already, like 5 years already. It's just like telling a girl 30 years old you must go and get pregnant. Doesn't work that way, right? It's still based on your own personal needs, why you want to make this step, right? Then you can justify it to yourself and you wouldn't be having this debate or swayed by any advertisement out there. And lastly, of course, it will be based on your affordability lah. Whatever you want to upgrade to or you want to move to, it is very enticing to see, wow, I sell my HDB, I got 300,000 profit, and on top of that, I still have the down payment which I put in, I get back, that will be 400,000. Then you go buy something at $2 million, but you can't sustain the mortgage. Then you'll be living a very tough life lah. On the outside, look like you're living a very happy life, but every day you're just working like a dog trying to pay the monthly mortgage. So whatever you do, be within your own means lah. And I hope it will be a takeaway from you and not just rushing into making a property decision because of the conventional wisdom or what has been normalized in Singapore property market. If you do need to speak to a property consultant that can really give you proper advice based on your needs and where you want to be. And with that, I end my video. And of course, if you have any property questions or anything you would like me to answer, feel free to DM me.